All right, Shalom. Start first by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakakwadash, in the name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, and much love and double honors to the apostles at the great millstone who taught us this truth. Another quick video, man. Like the brothers were saying, so many points to bring out of this situation with Vocab. One of them is hopscotch. Okay, they try to demonize the phrase Hebrew hopscotch, but in the same token of calling it Hebrew hopscotch is how you get the understanding out of the Bible. It's how you get full understanding out of the Bible. Let's not forget that the Spirit has to be with you to see how to precept these together, and also the guidance of your teachers, which our teachers are the apostles at the great millstone, because they are men of the Lord, and they're the ones that can paint this picture in a puzzle so it will stand the test of time. Okay, and the test of time was from the times of Moses, when the laws were written, all the way to beyond the future after John's revelation from the Isle of Patmos, written to stand the test of time through all the historical events that it predicted, as well as the historical events that had already taken place. So it's a beautiful thing, and you can see how great the Most High is for writing it this way. All right, so we're gonna address this old Hebrew hopscotch thing, because these Christians, they don't understand the Bible, and they're angry that we do, and we can pull out all the real answers out of the Bible and show you in current events and history how these things line up. Well, that's what we're about to do. We're going to go and show you that this is on purpose, reading the Bible this way. Bear with me one moment. All right. So I'm going to start in Psalm 119. And let me see where I want to start. I'll start up at 98. It says, "Though thy commandments has made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me." Okay, I have more understanding than all my teachers. And it's not the apostles of great millstone teachers we're talking about. We're talking about you other guys, man. You so-called Christians, you so-called preachers out there that's supposed to be in the position to teach us properly, and you're not, because the Spirit wasn't given to you. It says, "I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." Okay, that's from Jeremiah 3rd chapter. Okay, so that's how we learn that. Okay, so it says, continuing on, it says, for thy testimonies are my meditation. Okay, and the testimonies are how people, great people in the Bible, use the wisdom that was given to them in the time that this was written. We use those examples, good and bad examples, on what we use for today. But you have to be able to go from the law to when it was applied, then back to when, to future events also. So we do have to jump around, okay? That's why in the way the Bible is written itself, you'll see that there are precepts written in the margin, okay? And the concordance that you can go back and reference certain situations, because you're supposed to do that to get the full understanding of that situation. All right. When the New Testament was quoting the Old Testament, they usually sent you back to the Old Testament so you could see it. But also, you would go back in the Old Testament and read the whole time that they use that law, or a situation happened, and you can see how that played out, and you can make a sound judgment from there. All right. Anyway, it says, I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. How sweet are are thy word, because the world is not ready for that level. Because you're going to have people like Vocab alone. Oh, you're playing Hebrew hopscotch. You got to hop around the Bible to break it down. Yeah, that's the way it's written. And I'm showing you, it says, verse 104, which is the point, through thy precepts I get understanding. Through thy therefore get wisdom, with all thy getting, get understanding. Okay, that's from Proverbs the 4th chapter. All right. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Every lie about the Bible, we hate that, man. We hate the fact that you don't understand what hell is. We hate the fact that you don't understand who the Israelites are and who the book is written for. Okay, it's not pertaining. The New Testament is not pertaining to the whole world. What's funny is you guys broaden the scope of the New Testament, but the scope of the New Testament is even more narrow than the Old Testament. The Old Testament was for the Israelites. The New Testament is for the believers, the chosen, the elect of the Israelites. Okay, it gets even more narrow, not even more broader, saying Greeks, and that's not what that's talking about. It got even more narrow. But those chosen people will be scattered, Israelites, into those other customs and nationalities and lands. But in their spirit, their fatherland still goes back to the Israelites. And through thy precepts, I get understanding. And you can go back and see in the history of when those situations happen. Okay? It says, therefore I hate every false way. So let me go now to the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, the Hebrew hopscotch, part in the Bible. It says, let's see if there was I want that part. Verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Who's going to get doctrine? Okay. Through thy precepts I get understanding, right? Remember that. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Okay. If you're sighing and crying, if you're reading the Bible like a love novel from beginning to end, and you're not truly getting a deeper understanding out of it, this is the way that you have to read it. The way it's about to teach us right now. It says, for precept must be upon precept. So you have to add the precepts together. Okay? So if I'm talking about confusion of faces, I have to go to an account over here in the Maccabees, to account over here in Corinthians, or wherever. Okay? That must be upon precept. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Sometimes you have to take a line written in the Bible and connect that with a line somewhere else in the Bible. Sometimes you take a place, a historical place in this book, and you link it back to the past or to the future to get the full understanding of it. Okay? If in Revelation the 12th chapter, when it's talking about that old serpent, the devil, that goes on and lists those things, you can figure that out by going back into the Old Testament and different parts in the Bible where it links who that is. Okay, when it links who that is to that precept. Okay, whether it's the beast or the beast who's ruling that, whether it's Cain, whether it's the serpent from Genesis, the 3rd chapter, or whether it's Esau himself. Okay, the people. Then you link that, you keep linking it, and that's how you get the full understanding of the scope, the big picture scope of everything that it's talking about. Okay, it says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Here a little and there a little. You have to do that. You have to take words here and connect that Hebrew word with the Greek equivalent. Sometimes you do a Hebrew word that may say world here, but then it's cosmos. Or I'm doing Greek, say it's Greek cosmos here, where you have to go back and link the cosmos to understand what cosmos means. That's how you get the full understanding out of the Bible. You have to go into the other languages and go into the other meanings, because written in English, you'll never get the full understanding of it. Okay, just looking at the words for face value, like the word Easter. Okay? If matter of fact, I'll go to it right quick. I'll come back to this. Let me go to the book of Acts right quick. I believe that's the 12th chapter, 4th verse. Okay. Yeah. Right. So it says, and when they had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quadrants of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Okay, like Easter. Wait. Okay, so Easter. Okay, we know what Easter is, but here's how you link it, right? You go up. It says, and because he saw that it, verse 3, because he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also, after he had taken John and killed James, right? Killed James, right? Then he decided to take Peter. Here's the point. Here's the line right here. Then were the days of unleavened bread. So there's the clue right there, the days of unleavened bread. What's the days of unleavened bread? What goes with that? The Passover. So when he says, and when he had apprehended him and put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quadrants of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Let me go to the blue letter. Bear with me. Okay. Acts 12 and 4, the word Easter. Go to the tools. And look up what that word for Easter is. Okay. Alright. Keep intending after Easter. Pascha. Okay, let's see what that is. Pascha. I know what it is. You know? So you people can see it for yourself. But the clue is there. Because if you read this verbatim, you're going to think there's a real event called Easter. But you missed the line upon line part. Here a little and there a little part. Okay? And this is just an example. Paschal service, which was accustomed to be offered for the people's deliverance of old from Egypt, which was the Passover. Look, Passover right there. Passover. The same word, Passover. Right there. Okay? It's a Greek way to say Passover. The Paschal service, Paschal feast. The feast of the Passover extending from the 14th to the 20th day in the month of Nisan. Okay? The meal, the day, the festival of sacrifice connected with it. Okay? Let me see. They give me anything else in there, because now I'm going to go to a precept. So that's we're accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month of Nisan, the first month of the year, in memory of that. They're talking about that event. Okay, sacrifice. See if they have here's the Greek inflections, lexicon. Let's go to show all. Maybe they'll have it in there. Exodus 12. We'll go to Exodus 12. Alright. It says, see if I can find that word in there. House, because it's going to tell you where the Feast of Unleavened Bread is what it is. Matter of fact, I'll just write that into the blue letter. Bear with me 1 second. Feast of Unleavened Bread. This comes up a few times. Exodus 12. And ye shall observe the feast out of the land of Egypt. Therefore ye shall observe in your generations by an ordinance forever. Meaning it's an ongoing thing. Held in the first month of the year. Okay? And look, Exodus has it. Leviticus, of course. Okay, they're supposed to have it in the old times. But then you go to 2 Chronicles, they have it. Okay? Talking about it. Okay? Talking about the different feasts you come up there for. But let's keep moving forward. Matthew has it. Okay, Matthew. We're still talking about, look, now the Feast of Unleavened Bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover. So when you see the word Pascha means Passover, that's how you get the understanding. Pascha being the word, the Greek word for Easter. Okay? That's how you get understanding. So I'm going to read it again. Here is Isaiah 28:10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. All right, that's how you get that's the Hebrew hopscotch he's talking about. But the Bible is telling us to play Hebrew hopscotch. We have to hop around. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, to get the full understanding. That's why we over here have the full understanding and you guys don't. Okay, you need that one teach you again. When it's time for you to be teachers, you need that one teach you again. Vocab, but you're not an Israelite, so you're not in the spirit to get it anyway. Okay, it says, for with stammering lips and another tongue, he will speak to this people. Okay, it says, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, because this is the comforter. Having the proper understanding of the Bible is a comfort given unto us through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It comforts us with the things that he said he was going to do, and now we have full understanding of a book. It's like finally putting the puzzle together. Big picture, I get it. Okay, this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen, this is what's got to happen. Okay, versus still in limbo like we were before the Spirit came upon us and called us. Not knowing what our future outcome, not believing in the church because the white man is Jesus, and then, you know, and all those other lies that we were taught years before. But with these precepts, we now can see the full understanding of this thing. Okay? And it was written that way with a purpose. Let me finish what it says. It says, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest. And we're the weary, man. The Israelites are the weary. Okay? We're the ones that's in the worst situations in the earth. Okay? But this word is our comforter. And even though there's difficult and very trying times and hard times coming, it still gives us a comfort of the life to come. Okay? It says, and this is the refreshing, and we're refreshed with this word. Okay? A new breath and new air, new life is breathing to us. Okay? Because of the spirit of this word. Okay? It says, yet they would not hear, which the majority of our people don't want to hear it. They like the old way that they're comfortable with. But here's what it says in verse 13. But the word of the Lord, Yahweh, was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept. This is why you can't get it, vocab. Was precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. Because you're not going to get the understanding, because you're not going to know through the Spirit how to link these precepts together. Even when you follow our way and we explain it, you kind of get it, but you can't see it because the Most High blinded you away from this thing. Okay? But that's how, in that same way that you can't see it that way, because it's Hebrew hopscotch, you can't jump around. You need to get the full context of the chapters and this, then you done lost the point of what the point that you're trying to make. You don't want to get caught up in the feast aspect of it. You were just going back to the feast itself to see what type of feast it was. It was a feast of unleavened bread that followed the sacrificial feast of the lamb the first day. Okay? And all the different ordinances that went on for that first day, which is the Passover, all the way through the week. Okay? To figure out what Easter was, not to figure out how many quadrants was Peter taken by. That's a different question, requiring a different answer, requiring different precepts. But the point of figuring out what Easter was, as my example of precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's how we fully get understanding. So that Hebrew hopscotch thing is played out, man. You can demonize it all you want, but the scriptures tell us that this is how you break the Bible down and get the full understanding of it. Okay? And that's what is so beautiful that through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, they sent that down to us through our teachers, man, to understand how to read that. And this is the scripture backing it up. Anyway, so with that, Lord willing, you were edified, man. It's straight to the point. Yeah, we have to play Hebrew hopscotch, man, to get the full understanding of this thing. All right? So anyway, with that, I'm going to close out, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Yahushai, through the Holy Spirit, right? Double honor to the apostles at the great millstone for continuing to teach it through the Spirit as it was given unto them. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect that teaches it through the way it was given to them. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. To feed the elect with knowledge and understanding. All right? With that, I say shalom.